Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to the nitty gritty of parenting. Wow, you guys, it has been one interesting day. Okay, we're getting a little late start here, but that's okay. We are just rocking and rolling. If you are a parent, a guardian, a caretaker, whichever title you go by, okay, you understand that we have our sights set on a specific time, but that doesn't happen all the time. Oftentimes, we get caught up in trying to make sure that everything is aligned, that everything is copacetic. You might even start doing some prep work for tomorrow, but I can't. I have I don't think I've ever been able to, like, for sure, get everything done I need to do in one day and then get everything that I would need for like half of another day. Like, I might be able to pick up a few things, but not doing all of that. And so, as I was getting the kids ready for bed, I started thinking, like, okay, I need to make sure I have this out. Okay, I need to make sure that I'm doing this for tomorrow. And I realized I am so hungry. Like, it was the most random thought, and I was like, dang, when is the last time you ate? Did you drink some water? Have you hydrated today? And it made me think about how many of us are giving our all. I mean, we have just dived headfirst into some activity, some cleaning thing, some, I don't know, anything that is dealing with like our responsibilities. And we don't purposely neglect ourselves. At least I don't think we purposely neglect ourselves. But sometimes when I get going in an activity, especially if it's, related to the kids or the family, the house, whichever, I'm like, I want to see that thing through. Like, I'm trying to start it, deal with a few little interruptions here or there, but I am gunning for that finish line. And we really, really do neglect ourselves, especially as caretakers, especially, you know, if you're used to just going and going and going without somebody saying, hey, hello, I need you to go drink some water, okay? I need you to go eat a snack, get a granola bar, do something for yourself. Like, you're worrying me. And for me, it's my husband. My husband is like, hey, I need you to take a seat. Hey, I need you to hang on for a second. Here, grab this chair, take a breather. Okay, it's gonna be okay. And I'm like, oftentimes I'm looking at him like, what's wrong with you? I'm okay. I'm used to doing this. And he would say, well, just because you're used to doing it doesn't mean that you should do it all the time. And at first I used to be like, you just don't understand. Like, you don't get it. But then, the voice of reason says, hey, you might want to listen. You're not a robot, You're gonna mess around and put yourself in the hospital just going and going and going. And I was like, okay, well, And so I would feel like a little kid sometimes. I'm like, okay, I drank my juice, I ate my crackers. Can I get up now? And, it's very humorous, but, when you look at it day after day after day after day, and you start to wonder, like, man, why am I so tired? Like, y'all ever went to bed? And you went to bed at a reasonable time, but you go to bed and then you get up in the morning and you're still tired. Like it doesn't really feel like you slept for real. Like it's like it was almost like I want to say unconscious, but that's not really what I mean. But it's just you slept so hard to the point you don't even remember going to sleep. Okay, you were just out, and then all of a sudden you blinked and you're up. But that tiredness comes after just going and going and going. And so I started saying, you know what? When my kids are just, hey, pulling on me, mommy, this, when that, and it's stopping me from doing whatever activity I was doing. I could have really, really just like hit a crucial point. Like I just kind of want to finish this section. You know how we like to start. We like to stop at a what do you call that? Pause at a good stopping point. There you go. And I used to always search for that. Like, okay, guys, hold on, just give mommy a second. Okay, just give me a second. Especially when it came to my younger siblings. Okay, just give me a second. I would do my best to make sure that the pause happened when I deemed it was okay for it to happen. But then, as I got older, I saw this post that said those small interruptions with your kids are actually just a reminder for you to slow down. And I really thought about that. I thought about it over a couple of days, and I was like, really? Do we really do that much moving? Are we really that invested in our own kind of activities that we don't see it? And so, that coupled with my husband saying, hey, I need you to take a break real quick, like just for me. And so when they come to me and, they're tugging on me, pulling my shirt, pulling my hand, whatever, and I go, okay, you know, maybe this is a moment that I kind of need to step away from this, or maybe I need to sit down and I'm not really realizing I need to sit down. Or when's the last time I took a full breath? I get so fixated on these tasks that I forget that I need to breathe. I need to take a second and be like, you know, it's okay. I can get back to that in a minute. Let me go have this quality time, this quality moment. You want me to sit down and watch this weird koala doing something on TV? Okay. You know, because I may not see this as big of a moment as you do. So okay. And or it's like, oh, you wanna piggyback ride and want me to run through the house like Superwoman? I mean, I kind of would like to preserve my back if that's okay. No, we're going to do this. Okay, we're going to do this. All right, bet. And so it's just those moments where we get reminded, like, slow down. You're so worried about getting to the finish line that you are missing all the great things along the journey, and it's some of those moments you there's no repeat, you know? It's like that kid that are they're not really called kids at that point. They're called toddlers, but you have those toddlers or they learn a new word and you didn't know they learned it. They just happen to walk up to you and they're saying, encyclopedia. Like, and you go, when did you learn that? And, one of their siblings or somebody comes in, oh yeah, they've been saying that. And it's like, where was I? Or your baby taking their first step. You come in from work or come in from the store, whatever, and your little baby is walking down the hallway, wobbling. Obviously, they walk like little intoxicated people. It's the funniest thing, but and you go, what, when did he start doing that? When did she start doing that? And then you're like, And then someone says, "Oh well, they were doing that earlier today. I thought you knew." It's like, no, no, I didn't. I would have liked to know. I would have liked to be there, have been there, and it's just little things like that where it's like you don't get a first step again. I mean, of course, I was in this group online. And I was like, oh, you never. Someone was like, oh, you never get this moment again. And then, of course, some cynical, it's not even dark humor. I don't even know what you would call that. But this person commented and said, well, if something tragic happens and that person can walk anymore, and then, they went to rehab and they were able to walk again, those would be considered the first steps. And I was like, Why would you go there?" Like, what does that have to do with anything? But I get what they were saying, but that I was like, that is so far beyond me looking at my little baby taking their first steps versus somebody who went through something like that. I was like, let's not go that far. And so I just think about that, like, of course, there are things that your kids are gonna learn on their own. They're gonna have to experience things. You're gonna say, hey, don't do that. Hey, that's not safe. But man, toddlers, I promise you, toddlers spend like their first just waking moments of every new experience trying to unalive themselves, and they challenge us. They give us this look that says, you know, how quick are you? Do you got reflexes? Yeah. Are you listening out, or are you kind of doing your own thing? Because they get into so much. I mean, it literally only takes a few seconds. That's why when I see people commenting on other videos like, "Oh, you weren't watching them. Oh, you want," I'm like, "Do you know how fast these little karate toddlers of ours move? Okay, once they make their mind up, oh my goodness, they are relentless." And it could be their toys, it could be food. Really, I kind of designate the karate moves to the babies because I don't know about y'all, but have y'all ever tried to open a baby's hands once they get a hold of your food off your plate? Okay, first of all, they are so fast. Second of all, why are they so strong? Like, if you don't unhand my sticky rice, you little cute pumpkin, like, let go of my food. And so we laugh at those things and we keep them in our memory. It's a kids movie where they talk about like core memories and things like that. And so it made me realize that just because we are adults or young adults, old adults, it does not matter. We are constantly creating, and we are constantly at a place where we can create core memories, not just for the kids, not just for us too. And so I started thinking like, well, how can I be more intentional about, just really enjoying what's going on with the kids? And I started being like, well, they are kind of into this, or into that kind of, okay, well, I don't really want to play with paint today. It's kind of not on my I want to clean up list. And then it's like, well, how about we do, like, look, can we pause for a second? Those parents, those guardians, those whomever who make a plan every single day of what entertaining or interactive activity their kids are going to do from the time they wake up to the time they go to sleep. You know what? Hats off to you. Okay? I I don't wear a wig, but wigs off to you. Okay? You 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 do your thing. Okay? Maybe that's just not I I just don't want my home life to be like that. That sounds stressful. But then when I see the results of what the parents are doing, and hey, go for it, you know. And I know right now in society, everybody's like, oh, my kid is doing this or my kid is doing that. What's your kid? First of all, if you are keeping that little wonderful pumpkin of yours healthy, happy, and fed, um, you are doing magnificent. Okay? You do not have to wake up with a whole presentation to give this little toddler something to do. You are doing just fine. You're doing just fine. Okay? And we're in the age of so much technology and so many things, and you're like, oh, they shouldn't be learning from a TV. Okay, well, if we put you on a TV, does that make it better because you're their mom? They're learning. Leave them alone. No, they shouldn't be just staring at a screen 23 hours a day. They're gonna be. They, just don't do that, okay? Just don't do that. But stop comparing yourself to this person, and and just stop that. Just stop that because y'all don't be understanding what y'all doing to other parents' mindsets. Okay, you're not being considerate. If you're trying to be a role model, if you're trying to if you're trying to express yourself, oh, I see Swan says it's in right. That is so true. That is so true. It's important when you don't compare yourself to other parents. I say enjoy your children when they're small because it doesn't last long. When I tell you it, when they say it'll go fast, I mean, my youngest is about to turn 1, and I'm like, hold on, didn't you just get here? I could have sworn you just got here. And what works for one family doesn't. Yes, that is so true. That is so true. It's never a one size fits all. And I mean, you can have all the kids with the same routine, and it just does not. Every kid is different. And then every household is different. I know y'all have gone to some households where you're like, y'all, that's how y'all, okay, okay then. Like my moms from back in the day used to say, if you like it, I love it. That's what she used to say. And so I find myself saying, wow, man, okay, y'all good? Y'all fed? Y'all changed? Do y'all bathe? I play with you? I talk with you? And is it so I can sit down and I can enjoy my lunch a little bit? Now, before I became a parent, that whole thing about well, be prepared to eat cold meals. You're never gonna have time to sit down. You're never gonna have, you know, there are days where it's exactly like that. I call it a good cup of Joe. I don't know why I say that. I think I got it from an old movie or something. Where it's like my coffee, okay, my vanilla coffee, my mocha coffee, whichever. I did stop drinking coffee for a while, but I just I, I needed it. I needed. I don't know if it was the flavor. Maybe it was the creamer that I got. I don't know, but coffee just started to be my friend again. Okay, and I love it now. On those days where I'm like, oh, I got this set. I made me some eggs, some waffles. Let me just put it in the microwave real quick. I did develop that habit where I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go right to the table. I'm gonna see. Let me go check on the kids for a little bit because they got a little quiet back there. I don't know. It's a little suspicious. I don't wanna. I don't trust that. Like usually when people, some people are like, oh, the kids are quiet. They're fine. And no, 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 no. When my little bookers get quiet, I'm like, mm-mm. Y'all in something? Y'all touching something? You, mm-mm, mm-mm. Oh, I see. My oldest daughter graduated from high school last year. I'm proud but so sad about it. I have no idea where all the time went. Oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine our daughter graduating from high school. I'm a wreck about them gr- promoting from elementary. What do you mean? What do you mean you're an adult? Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Pause, rewind. Mm-mm, don't do that. I would be a wreck. A wreck. You hear me? I couldn't do it. And so, and that's why I'm like, those moments, I want to peep in. Like now me, I'm an avid like uh I take pictures, because kids they move so fast, so I gotta, I have an iPhone, so luckily that little camera button's on the front because those moments be so cute. I cried at every scene. I'm telling you, I would be look. I'd be that mom right next to you crying. I don't even know which kid is yours, but I'm crying with you. We're pass me the tissues. It's okay. And so I like it, especially at those events though. I'm trying to get as many pictures and videos. I'm like, I'm that parent, like I don't get in the way of other parents, trying to enjoy their moment and taking their photos and stuff, but I will go around you. Okay? I look, if your arm is far and I'm up under that arm, okay? I'm in that armpit taking the picture that I need to get because that angle just happened to work. Okay? So I I have never made anybody like feel like super awkward or nothing like that, but I won't get that moment again. And if I let your little elbow get in the way, then I must not really care about it. That's how I feel. That's how I think. That's how I am. And I stick to it. And so I go do that. But when I go check on the kids, I think I gotta find another method because I completely forget that I've made me breakfast and I'll get to playing with the kids, or I'm like, oh yeah, let me straighten up that corner, and I'll go, oh yeah, I meant to go put this in the closet, and I go put it in the closet. I'm like, oh yeah, I meant to hang these up, and then I start hanging up stuff, and then I go, oh these don't go in here, these go in my room, go in my room. Oh yeah, look at that laundry. Yeah, that I, I promise. I feel like I, I don't know. I don't got like some kind of like thought process issue, but sometimes I be questioning it a little bit. And it's do you, do you have ADHD like me? Sounds exactly what goes on in my head every day. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, that is me all the time. But look, hey, if that explains it, because eventually I do end up back in the kitchen though. And it's not for the breakfast, but because I found something that goes in the kitchen, and then I go into the kitchen, and then I turn around, and I'm like, who left this cup right here? I left the cup. It's my coffee. And then I look on the stove, and I'm like, all these dishes, it smells good in here. Oh yeah, my breakfast. I go to sit down at the table, take a sip of my Joe. Mm-mm-mm. That mug is room temperature. It don't taste that great at that temperature. Okay, iced, I can get with it. Hot, I can get with it. But something about that lukewarm, that just is not for me. I try to stir it, kind of maybe the creamer settled at the bottom. It don't settle at the bottom. If it do settle at the bottom, uh, I need to go back to the store because there's there's a problem. It says I have I have to do this, to do that, and then I just yes, that is exactly it. Did I start the dryer? Let me go check. Oh my gosh. I do the same thing. Well, in our laundry room, we can hear it. So I'm like, okay, but that washer, I grew up when you put your clothes in the washer, you set your knobs and all that other good stuff. And I've also been teaching the kids how to do it, but I'm like, y'all come get me before y'all, try and wash a load because y'all gonna bend and wash the cat or the dog, and I don't trust that. And so I'm like, okay, put it in there, turn the knob, set the water, let the water, but I leave the lid up because if I'm using the powder, I like to agitate the clothes myself. Even though there's an agitator in the washer, that's just how I grew up, giving it that good agitation before I put the lid down and let it do what it do. But I forget because I don't hear the sound of the washer. And then I go about my day, and then that evening I go, oh yeah, let me get the kids' pajamas out of the dryer. Well, they're not in the dryer. They're sitting in the washer in a pool of water because I forgot to go put the powder in there and close the lid so it could agitate the pre-agitated clothes. And it agitates me. Okay. And then the kids, they're excited. Don't let that be like their last outfit or well, not outfit really, like PJs. I mean, almost you can cut some corners, okay? Them old shorts and that old t-shirt, okay, pajamas, that's fine. But sometimes we be on the last thing because I was like, I got caught up in doing other stuff, and I'm like, ah, shoot, the laundry. I am the one who does the laundry. Like me and my husband, we have to do the laundry. So okay, let's do that. And they're like, we get to stay up a little longer. And I'm like, oh, no, no, no. Get in your beds. Go take your showers. We will figure something out. And so I'm like, man, I just don't know why I get so caught up with doing all this stuff. And I have to realize, it says, what did he say? My youngest is 13, so all the kids are responsible for most of their own stuff now. You lucky, lucky, lucky. All four of them can cook at least basic foods like eggs or rice and stuff. Well, you know what? That right there is a blessing because I promise you, I go in the kitchen and I'm looking at the food, I'm looking at the dishes, I'm looking at the refrigerator, and I'm trying to figure out why nothing's happening here. And then it dawns on me, it's because you're the adult. You're the one who has to do all this. It's like, oh, no more just hi, I'm home, kind of thing. Like off of, what was that show? I Love Lucy. I guess that kind of dates me, huh? It's sad, dude. Man, the day that I'm not doing those dishes, oh, my recompense is at the door. Man, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. And so man, I get so focused on doing all the kid stuff where I go and I look at I'm looking at my bookshelf like, dang, when's the last time you actually, your bookshelf collecting dust? Like this ain't no normal dust. Like this is dusty dust. Like when when's the last time you sat down and did a puzzle? Like what? And I'm like, you know, but I sometimes I feel that guilt. Like I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I've just, grew accustomed to that. Or I'm like, if I'm sitting down too long, or I'm scrolling on my phone, or I'm, you know, enjoying my meal just way too much, or just too long, and I haven't gotten up and been like, hey, what you guys doing? Or, do y'all need anything? I didn't check no diapers. I ain't refill no cups, no bottles, no, you know. And I don't know why I have that kind of like weird, guilty feeling. Like you, you should always be doing something as a parent. And I'm like, that is not true. Okay, we do so much that people don't even think about. Like it's just second nature for us to do things. And it's not until that moment where you do not do it. Like I took like a like I was on like a 3-4 day strike. I was like, I'm not gonna be the only one cleaning. I'm not gonna be the only one doing stuff in this kitchen. I'm not gonna be the only one doing this laundry. I'm not gonna be the only one. Like I just was like, I'm going on strike, and I don't even know what brought it on. It wasn't like, nobody in the house helped with nothing. Like my husband, he'll be working them 12 or 16-hour shifts. So sometimes I'll be like, yeah, you're not gonna do all of that and then get home and I'm sitting here waiting with a trash bag in one hand and a mop in the other, and I'm like, get to work. No, 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 no. Yes, he contributes. Yes, he does great things. But I think I had just reached a point where I was burnt out. Like cleaning one room and then telling the kids, okay, you guys go in that room so I can clean this other room. And then you go back to the room that the kids are in, and it doesn't look like you touched anything. I mean, there was at one point I felt like these kids purposely put these Legos out to give me like a crash course of the past. Like I was like, who did I set up like this? Did did I try to cripple my parents with Legos? Is that what you guys are doing this? Are you repaying me? I'm telling you, the Legos were a setup, okay? Cause I I did not understand how they just the whole entire walkway. So I thought we have carpet in our home. So I thought, well, maybe if I sweep my feet, if I just kind of like push them with my feet, and I'm telling you, flipping like literally, I'm telling you, it was like these kids had to have taken the bag and just were like a little razzle dazzle here, a little razzle dazzle there. Oh, mama won't mind if they're a little bit under there. And so I tried sweeping my feet, just kind of pushing them with my foot to kind of scoop them. No, 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 no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Because I made the mistake and I swept too fast and one got caught under my foot, and so to catch my balance I stepped forward with my other foot. Horrible, 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 because I just stepped on the pile that I made by scooting them with my feet. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. And my lovely, lovely children are looking at me with the most innocent face of, why are you screaming, Mom? Are you screaming at me? And I'm like trying to reassure them, because the youngest one, he does that lip curl, right before they get ready to cry. And I'm like, oh no, it's okay, while I'm rocking back and forth, holding my ankle, trying not to laugh, cry, because what what is going all I'm trying to do is raise you guys, man. I'm just trying to take care of you. I'm not trying to to go to war with you. Work with me. And they're just like going about their business. And I'm like, y'all didn't see this almost medical bill right here? No? Okay, fine. You know what? I am not dealing with this right now. I am going back to the table. I have worked hard to get to this meal. I am going to eat this food. Man, y'all, I finally get back to that plate. It's, I don't even, I don't, I, I just, I don't know where the temperature went. It was like the temperature just, it left the chat, left the building. And I go, well, I worked hard for this plate. Let me go warm it up because, I gotta eat something. And I go to warm it up. Y'all want to know what I do? Want to know what I do? Oh, I go check on the kids again. And then I look at those Legos and I go, well, I'm not. And then at one point in time, I was just eating whatever was left on the kids' plate. Man, that is so true. I have done that shamelessly. I have done it, and those are the best nuggets that ever came out of my kitchen, okay? That meal was so clutch. I'm sitting there like, oh, this kid don't even know what they left behind. Y'all, I warm up the food. Oh, see, sweet potato fries. Sweet potato fries are my thing. I don't know what it is about those sweet potato fries, but they are my new fave. Okay, I absolutely, and those sweet potato tater tots, Lord. I I just absolutely love those. I don't know why I hadn't been eating those. I don't know why, but those are my thing. And so, like, and see, I didn't eat them cold. I did put them back in the microwave oven thing. And cauliflower mashed potatoes are good. They are good. I put my husband onto those. He was kind of looking at me a little like I was a little suspect, but after I gave him a little razzle dazzle from the cabinet, just a little bit, just a little razzle dazzle. He was like, "Wow, what is this?" And I was like, "Cauliflower." And he was like, "Excuse me, come again?" I'm like, "It's cauliflower." He was like, "No, it's not." I said, "Yes, it is." Surprise! Ever since then, he's been hooked. I love it. I love it. Now I'm just trying to get that toddler of mine. She ain't going for it though. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. She ain't going for it, but I'm gonna try it. I heat this back up. This is just about what's on that plate that I've been trying to eat. Then I go warm it up. I go back in there and I go, oh, I can't have the kids stepping over Legos. No, it wouldn't be right. Let me just start cleaning this up. And of course, lovely kids, they're like, oh, mommy, I'll help you. I want to say no. I want to say I have been focused on you guys all day. I I think I want to do this myself so that I can make sure they're all up and it's fine and I can go eat my food. But they're just really looking like they really want to help. And I'm trying to teach the youngest. He'll be 1 in August, and I'm trying to teach him like, oh, this is how you clean up. We're singing our little song, and so he starts putting the Legos in the bin, and I'll go, wow, I didn't even have to. I didn't have to do much. You just watched us, and then you figured it out. I love this. Oh, and then I heard the microwave go off, and I was like, yes, right on time. We're almost done cleaning up these Legos. I love it. And so I see these teddy bears. Like, we're a big teddy bear house. Like Teddy, just stuffed animals, just all that. They're in the vicinity of the Legos. So I go, oh, let me go put these stuffed animals with the other stuffed animals, right? Why did I do that? Why did I do that? I don't know, but I did it because I wanted my kids to have all their things in the areas where they know they go so that they can find them later, right? That's the good thing to do. Oh, y'all help me. Y'all help me. I go to do that. I put all the stuffed animals, all the bears, all of that in their little section. Do you know what I hear behind me? I hear the lovely sound of a bunch of little objects bouncing off the floor. They're just drizzling. Sounded like, oh, a million gold coins just drizzling. I turn around. Mm, that toddler of mine that wanted to help so badly has taken the entire. Now, mind you, some of the Legos were still in the thing. They didn't take them all out to create that obstacle course I was talking about earlier. There was still quite a bit left in this bin. No, 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 no. This toddler of mine takes the entire bin, flips it upside down, and goes, "Uh-oh, mommy." Huh? What? What? Uh-oh. Uh-oh doesn't begin to describe what you just did. What? I just, hmm. And just like you said, I said, I think these are gonna stay here. I think they're gonna stay here. I said, you know what? Exactly. They will be going to storage for a while. when I I just I was speechless. I was even just thinking about it. It made my head itch. Okay, like I was speechless because what? Okay, okay, okay. Now, mind you, this is late. This is around 10 o'clock ish. Y'all know I forgot to start the washer, so I had to. It had to do its thing, and then you got to put it in the dryer. Dryer take about 45 minutes, 30, 45 minutes, hour, whatever setting you put it on. And so at this point, and toddlers do not care. You hear me? They do not care. They do not care. They do not care. I love you, mommy. Oh, you do? Oh, you do? I love you too. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Oh, you want to show me something you made in the mess that I just cleaned up? You want to show me something? Okay. 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 How old are you again? Okay, right. You don't know? Yeah, I do know. I think I was just reminding myself, that you can't catch all hands and feet. Like I gotta, I gotta lead by example right now. Okay, okay. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. You ever like talk yourself down because what? 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 It, okay, 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 okay. It's okay, okay. And then I hear the most angelic sound, y'all. I hear it. The dryer. Me. Let me know the clothes are done. And I had superpowers at that moment. Okay, I had superpowers because in a blink, everybody was in their PJs, their nappies, the diapers, whichever the word that if people use, pull-ups, pampers, whatever. They were all checked. They were all changed. Everybody had their hugs and kisses. When I tell you it was lights out, and I took my food out of that microwave, sat at this table in the dark. Well, I turned the stove light on, the light above the oven that lets you know, hey, this kitchen is closed, it's down, it's closed for business. Do not enter, you know. And I sat at this table and I ate that food, and I I don't even think I was thinking to myself. Like how sometimes when you eat, your mind is wandering, you're thinking about it. No, no, no. There, there was nothing else for me to think about. Okay? Nothing, nothing was crossing my mind. I didn't want to, nothing, nothing. I ate that food. I went to go put my plate in the sink and I stood there staring at the sink like, okay, okay. And I looked over at my phone, y'all. This was tonight. I'm looking at my phone. I looked at the time and I go, it's time for the nitty gritty. Yes, it is. Because I gotta talk to somebody about this foolishness that just happened. And my husband's like, oh, good night, honey, enjoy your podcast. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna enjoy it because somebody's gotta tell me something. Somebody gotta tell me something. Because what did I just witness? Okay, we what was that? And I go in there. Before I hopped on this live, I go in there. As as overwhelmed as I can get, as just tired as I can be. There's always just that softness, that okay, let me go check on you one more time. I go in there. Oh, I go in the other kid's room, and I'm checking on my toddler. Go over there. Hey, you everything okay? Check her cup. She still got milk in it. Okay. I Maybe it was for kicks and giggles, but this young lady hands me a Lego. Night night. Oh yeah? I, I just that just reset my whole everything. I you good night, sweetie. And with that, I came in here to start this podcast because that was interesting. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna reconvene. You're gonna end it with that. Okay. We got a comedian on our hands, guys. And so, but as a parent, you gotta just be like, that was okay. That was okay. That was okay. Hey, everybody's in bed. They're smiling. They're happy. It gotta be okay, right? And I'm like, nah, fam, nah, nah, that wasn't. To add insult to injury, you gonna give me a piece to the death trap that you set for me. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's all right. And said, but you know what? I ate my food. I did not drink that cup of Joe. That cup of Joe's still sitting over there. It's still sitting, and it's gonna go down the drain. Cause, mm-mm, not doing it. And it was like people were like, "Well, how can you drink coffee this late?" How can I not? How can I not? Okay, I don't know at any point that a good cup of Joe is not necessary. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I, it actually helps me relax. You know, a lot of people they get hyped up like, yeah, I'd be kind of awake a little bit, but maybe it's that ADHD you was talking about earlier. Cause I don't know. Coffee does the opposite. I can drink a cup of coffee and take me the best nap. I don't know, I might need to see somebody about that. But anyway, though, I have see how man. I mean, I don't wish for narcolepsy, but I want to be able to like when I decide I want to go to sleep, I want to go to sleep. I put the toddler down, put the baby down. I almost said put my husband down. That is hilarious. But that man could blink and be asleep. And I'd be sitting there with an attitude. Oh, so all y'all gonna sleep while I'm awake. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So y'all just oh okay. Oh y'all comfortable? Oh, okay. It'd be like, man, I know you ain't yeah, maybe I am. Maybe I wanna go to sleep. Look, don't let me tell my husband that. He's like, I'm grown. I know you is. Here's your food. Go take a nap. No. And I just decided, I said, you know what? I gotta be more intentional about me. You know, when I don't know how I'm gonna implement this, and I'm gonna include it in tomorrow's podcast of if it worked. I'm gonna think of something to just be like, you know what, at some point, maybe I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna switch it up. Maybe I gotta just be more intentional about the time frames or I don't know. Is setting alarms on the phone too much? Like, hey, drink water, or hey, maybe I'll put it on my Apple Watch. I say like, hey, you done got 2,000 steps in, hydrate, something like that. I don't know. But I know that we can get so focused on our responsibilities that we literally will forget ourselves. And then go look in the mirror and be like, "Well, how the heck did this happen? What is going on with my face? Oh, have I been in these clothes all day?" You know, I I just like I feel like I can't be the only one that is so surprised. Okay, well, see, I will try out those alarms then. I will do that. And I thought about downloading this other app. I seen a little ad for it. It's like every time you do a task or something, you check it off and it like gives you points or I don't know really how it works, but I saw that it's supposed to like help you get through stuff during the day. But I was like, as long as I can like set stuff on there that it says like, hey, you know, drink some water. Oh, hey, take a break, you know, sit down, do something like that kind of thing. And so I'm gonna do that whenever it is that I get up in the morning. I don't even know why I said that because the little ones, they wake up at the same time every morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, without fail, without fail. And so I use a kitchen timer for tasks to help me manage my time better. I didn't think about that. But what if you're not in the kitchen? Like our house, like this, the kitchen is in the front of the house. I could just, I don't know, I don't know. I do enough laps. I do enough laps in the house. I'm sure I'll hear it. Oh, kitchen timer on the phone. Duh. You see, duh. That makes so much sense. That's what I'll do. I'll just put like little labels or something that says like eat breakfast. Like, am I the only one that gets up and the first thing that they do is like, well, my kids wake me up, you know, either by like the baby obviously crying like, hey, you know, I need to be changed. I want to eat stuff like that. Like when as soon as my feet hit the floor, it's all kids. It's not until their bedtime 9:30 where I'm like, you keep snacks under your pillow. Yo, why have I never thought of that? Keeping snacks under my pillow. You know what? You know what? Miss Bright, you pretty cool. You are pretty cool because um keeping snack. You know what? I thought just putting them up in this cabinet. Now I thought I was slick hiding all the snacks in this certain spot in our pantry thing. Mm-mm. That little smart toddler of mine, she saw me one day. That was it. That was it. And you have crackers in a what are you gonna do with crackers and a zebra you know what? I got kids. I wouldn't care. That I'd make me a whole sandwich with zebra cake in the middle. That is so bad. That is so funny. You see, but what do you do? Well, my youngest, the baby, is still in a crib in our room, so I'm like, how can I get the wrapper off without waking up the baby? See, I should not be thinking about this stuff at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm all see, and even when I'm like wanting to enjoy my snack, it still goes back to like, how will this affect the kid? How will this affect like? We really have our like minds wrapped around how it would affect our kids. And our kids have their minds wrapped around themselves. So Ziploc bag it. You know what? You sound like a professional. You sound like a professional. I think I can get with that. I'm gonna have to tell my husband I took notes at 1 in the morning on how to how to sneak in my snacks without anybody bothering me. Oh man, I never thought about the pillow. I never thought about the pillow. I was so disappointed in myself for getting caught in the pantry. Like, dang, this was my one. Like, even my husband didn't look there. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe if I like put their snacks, which, you know, no, no, it's really not that much, but if I put their snacks where she saw me putting my snacks, which is the stuff that they would probably really want, then maybe she'll just be like, I don't want that stuff. Mom's always giving me this this healthy stuff. I have stash books on the shelf that don't. What? That's a real thing? That's a real thing, some stash books. Girl, don't make me get on Amazon. Okay, I look, I'm not. I'm totally not gonna get on. You make. Why am I not surprised that you made them yourself? I am not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. Because now I'm kind of, which one of these books over here wouldn't mind some arts and craftsy things happening to it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to consort with this bookshelf over here and see what we can do. That's funny. That's actually really funny. But y'all, you, I'm hey, having kids will give you that creative thing that, like, it could have already been in you just laying dormant, but when you gotta do what you gotta do to make stuff happen, okay, that that is so true, because there are some things that I won't be putting in this podcast, but we're gonna put it in some other ones, a little bit down the line. That at one point I was like, man, I should be totally ashamed that I just, but then on the other hand, I'm like, nah, I can't be the only one that did what they had to do sometimes to make it work, okay? I saw a video of someone making Play-Doh and how to store it and stuff like that, and my oldest daughter was like, oh, mom, and I'm like, mm, I don't know. And she's adamant. She's adamant about making some homemade Play-Doh because her teacher actually made some, and they sent them home with the kids, and um I was like, is this like that slime stuff that you had me make? She's really big into science and biology and stuff like that. So we had a whole lab experiment with slime. And ever since then, I have been so like, outside, take it outside. It's not welcome in here with carpet. Uh-uh. But then eventually I caved. I don't want my kids, go outside and play, but like, it be creepos outside. Not me, not where we live, but just, I don't know. I'm one of those that are like, get out the house, go climb a tree. Okay, you climbed enough trees, get back inside. Hey, I'm a fair mix, okay? If it's 100 degrees, baby, we is not come enjoy this air condition that your lovely, lovely parents provide for you because it's hot, okay? We made cloud dough with baby powder and baby oil. How did you keep it from like sticking? Like, doesn't it became like, doesn't it make it like gooey? Or is that the point? I think maybe that's the point, to make it. I don't know. I don't think we have any baby oil. Maybe we do. I don't know. I haven't been in that other cabinet. I think that I really love. You know what I want to know? What are those cabinets used for and like typically they're behind the fridge or above the fridge, like where the refrigerator. What do you even use those cabinets for? Like, because me in all my years, I I think I used the cabinets once, and that was like maybe 10 years ago in the apartment that we were in at that time. Like, I put small appliances up there. I guess I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it. Watch me tomorrow. I'm like rearranging I'm rearranging the kitchen. My husband's gonna be like, "What the heck are you doing?" I am utilizing the space that you provide for us, honey. That's probably gonna be my response. And see, that's my brain. How did I end up talking about the cabinets above the refrigerator when this whole podcast was about how we be hyper fixating, it's late, y'all, hyper fixated on giving our all to these kids and forgetting ourselves. And here I am talking about the cabinets above the refrigerator. I don't know how we got here. Well, all I know is I'm glad I got here. Okay. So I'm like, see, I usually do full circle, okay? At some point, I do circle back around. It's the same thing with taking care of tasks in the house. Okay, eventually the circle gets complete because what I was gonna say, I was like, well, if I do put our small appliances up there, and then my daughter, she's been trying to get me to make her a section in the kitchen for an easy bake oven and all of her, like, she wants to do more baking stuff. That would open up that space at the bottom so she could have her own little thing. But then, the expectancy that I'm gonna actually dive into that with her will definitely go up if she has her own space in there, huh? I'm gonna have to consult with myself on that one. But y'all, we got to take care. We got to. Is that a word? Is that a phrase? We got to. I don't think so. We have to. That sounds extra proper. We got to take care of ourselves. Okay, we gotta find the humor, and I feel like being a parent, you have to have humor. I don't know how anybody can parent, can guardianship, can raise, can any of that if you don't have a sense of humor. Because that, I feel like I would be miserable if I didn't have a sense of humor. And I'm not saying it gotta be dark humor, but some things that most people would be like, oh, that's horrible. And then you as a parent be like, oh, that's hilarious. Is that what happened? And they're looking at you like, maybe she got a couple screws loose. And you're like, oh, you didn't find that funny? Oh, awkward. And so that's why it's important to even like, I'm not a big group kind of person. Like, I don't need to hang out with 50 people. Like, it could be me and one or two other people, and we don't even really gotta talk about anything. We can. It's just the presence. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the fact that we're there, and I don't know. It could be a show on. We eat popcorn, something. It it's just about that kind of community, but with like people who you have things in common with. Like, you might laugh at something and it'll be very weird, in my opinion, if the people that you're hanging out with are like, oh no, because that's wrong. And you're not being, like cynical or anything like that. It's just certain things in raising children where you just gotta laugh. Like, yeah, it wasn't funny at the time, but wow, that's kind of funny now, And so it's like that also with, I have many associate and friends that don't have any kids and they're not married. So when we're invited to something, sometimes I feel a little like, I don't know how you're gonna take to me, like, in my whole family being there, because if you're not used to kids, being an octave or three higher than what you are, or if you're not, you would be kind of feeling crowded, but to us it's normal. And so I tend to feel more comfortable. Like, if I'm going out somewhere and my kids are with me and whoever invited me out, their kids are there or the kids are not there, it's just some things that you don't gotta explain. Okay? You don't gotta explain why little Timmy just did a tuck and roll back spring off your coffee table. I mean, obviously, you need to have a little conversation with Timmy. But it's just certain things like that you see kids do, and you be like, oh yeah, mine does that too. Well, anyway, though, girl, and and it just flows. It just flows. But it's a lot easier for someone who has no experience with kids, no experience with raising them, no experience with husbands and wives, or to just look at you being like, I don't think you're doing this right, and all that. Like, not saying you can't offer Yeah, exactly, exactly. If it wasn't going to feel, yes, exactly. I am so avid on that. The first thing I'm like, if my kids are going to be uncomfortable or I'm going to be uncomfortable because I'm going to have to like hold them all in one seat or something, like I don't want to participate in that. Okay, I appreciate the invite and you're like, even sometimes people be like, "Oh, don't worry, bring the kids," and it's like, yeah, but I just that's that's gonna be a lot for me to have to deal with to keep this one from running that way and to have that one sit down and this one doesn't it and I gotta pack the bag. Oh my gosh. How about you guys just swing by after? Like everything I need is already here at the house. And it's not to say that we don't, but it's hard to explain to somebody who can just get up and go. They don't got to think about nothing. They don't got to think about anybody else. They don't have to pack nothing. They can just go do it. And, they're like, why don't you ever come out? It's like, because I got to pack for 4 or 5, whatever the number is, because I'm not finna get all the way out somewhere, realize I left everything that I needed to control, like, to, what do you call that? To adjust to a situation back at home. I'd rather just go home because they have their beds there, they have their food there, they have the water. I know where things are. I'm not trying. Sometimes it's not that I don't want to socialize. Sometimes I just feel like there's a lot that goes into it. And if you're not understanding why I'm constantly like getting up in the middle of the conversation to go check on my kids, or you're just like, oh, just relax, they're fine, like you're not understanding why I'm doing this, and that's okay. That's okay. But I need you to come spend a couple days with me at the house, and then you'll be like, I see why you got up and you didn't hear anything. I'll be like, mm-hmm, yeah. Yeah, this is why. Hmm. And but I do desire, sometimes, not very often, but just sometimes, where it's like they're with their dad, they're at home, and I know they're fed, they're careful. I don't know what happens when our husbands or their their dads watch them, like when it's their time to watch. I don't know what happens. Something goes off in the kid's head that they say, oh, all bets are off, like we're just we, we just out there, we just I don't know what happens, but they turn a switch or something. But that's a definite podcast for another day. Okay. And so sometimes I want those moments where I'm like, hey, girl, what you doing? Nothing, sitting at home. I don't know. Your husband's name is Jerry or something. I don't know. Me and Jerry just chilling. We ain't doing nothing. I said, why? I'd be like, oh, I just wanted to see, you want to go grab a bite to eat? You want to get some tea, some coffee? You want to, try out this new spot just real quick, you know? And we can actually do that. Be like, oh, hey, honey, have Natasha, wants to go grab a bite to eat. Is everything squared away here? And he's like, yeah, go, shoot, go for it. And then, I do the same with my spouse, and then we leave. And there's no 100 mommies. There's nobody pulling on you. There's nobody tugging on you. It's just a beautiful scenery, and the kids are fine where they're at, and you just get a moment to breathe, and then we go back home. And it's like, oh, hey, what you guys do while I was gone? And then obviously you see the roller coaster that they put that through, and you go, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yep, yep. Okay, well, I'm relaxed. I'm chill. I got my breather in, and then we're ready to go again, and we don't think of it, or we don't feel so burdened by like the weight of like we aren't. Yeah, exactly. A lot to clean up when you get home every time. Every time. Every time. And then I look at the kids and I look at him and I go, honey, what happened here? And he goes, well, I was trying to do this and I was trying to pick this up, but then this kid was crying and then she wanted me, but then I promised our other baby that I would do this with her, and then so I didn't get the chance to do the living room, and I'm like, exactly, exactly. I'm like, Meanwhile, while he's talking, I'm cleaning up everything in the living room, everything in the dining room, still listening to him telling me what these kids done did, straightening up in the kitchen. I go, wow. Clean up in the room, clean up in the back room. I take each kid, get them all, settled down for their naps, and I sit back on the couch and he finishes telling me what all he couldn't do because of the kiddos. And I was like, you know what? I understand. And he looks around and he goes, see, you're just a super mom. And then I want to throw my shoe at him. Like, but we're not supposed to be throwing shoes at people. We're not supposed to be doing that. But I don't know. Back growing up, them chanclas, them sandals, they came flying, boy. I don't know. But and so it's like sometimes we just need that recharge, and it's okay. It is okay to get recharged. And I used to get upset when people felt like they needed an explanation for why I needed to be recharged. But now I don't. Now it's just my understanding that you should be grateful that you don't understand about why I need a recharge, why I needed a second, you know, to really get this together, to really get me together. And I used to get upset every time I would stand at the door when I came home because I'm like, I just know these kids. They felt me leave. Like they didn't even have to see me. They just knew something just clicked and said, "Ooh, Mama's gone. Oh yeah, time to crank it up." And I was just sitting at the door, and I would just be like, "Oh, okay. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good." But now I come in and I just start. I don't even bother asking why is this. I don't even bother asking why is the chandelier on the floor. I don't care. I ain't doing it. I know how to fix it. Let me put it back up there. Let me replace some bulbs. Let me like I mean like that's obviously extreme. I do like hanging different chandeliers. That is my thing. But still, you're right. That needed to be dusted. Exactly. Hey, speaking of that, nope, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. We are gonna finish this podcast. I'm gonna stay in this chair, and I am not going to go dust this chandelier that I just looked at. And I'm like, she is so right. I really need to get that dust off of there. That dust is gonna have to stay until tomorrow, but I'm gonna make a note of it in my phone to clean that dust up. I'm just saying. And I'm like, well, let me just start. Let me just do this, do that, check it out. I don't even, cause once you know. It just, you just know. But I know for a fact that we all deserve that moment, or even if it's just an hour, even if it's 30, 45 minutes, we deserve longer than that. Each parent does it, whether it's dad or mom. Hey, well, everybody deserves that. That unwinding time. That what do you call it when people say they get off of work? Decompress. People think, oh, that's your kids. You chose to have them. I don't care. I don't care. You can be overwhelmed by your own children, yes, you can. They can get on your everlast nerve, okay? They will go search through the Sahara Desert and the wildest Australian jungle, if they even have, I don't even know if they have jungles out there. And they will find that last nerve and they will hopscotch on that thing, okay? They are masterminds at finding that last nerve and they have no shame, okay? I They have no shame. So don't you have shame in taking you a second, you sitting in your car and you eating your french fries unbothered because you don't want to share with the whole, it's fine. You're fine. Okay? You're fine. That is all right. And that that's the psychotic nerve. Yes. 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 You can't see me right now, but yes. I am like pinching my three fingers, my thumb and my index and my middle finger together, and I am looking up at the heavens because yes, yes, that that nerve, that specific nerve, okay? They look for it. They sniff it out. They smell it. Okay? Man, exactly. Okay, see, you're gonna get me off track. Okay, we're supposed to be. I almost made it back full circle. I almost made it. Okay, but clock it is exactly what I'm doing with my hands. Okay, I got the pinky extended. That is exactly what I'm doing with my hands. That is so funny. That is so funny. Man, we deserve it. We deserve them clock it moments, okay? Where whatever our favorite beverage is, maybe not everybody's favorite beverage because some people, I don't know. I'm sliding some prayer for them. I don't I don't know what they be on, but the regular stuff to just go out, get some food, get your beverage, just chill. But we don't even gotta talk all the time. We do so much talking with the kids. It is perfectly normal to me to be eating and we are communicating using our eyebrows and eyeballs, okay? It does all the speaking for us. That I enjoy moments like that where it's like, there's a show on, you're nodding towards it, the other person is nodding in agreement or shaking their head, and you're making all the facial expressions. You ain't even gotta say much. That is recharging. People underestimate how much just a second can really shift your day. Like just a second to be like, okay, cool. And then I, the wonderful, wonderful individuals that say, well, if you're so tired, if you need to be recharged so badly, why don't you just go to sleep while they're sleeping? Excuse me? Say what? Go to sleep while there's. How often has that ever worked? No, no, no. I need some separate time. And I'm not about to feel guilty for wanting some separate time. I don't want to be disconnected from them, but I do need a minute. Just a minute. And don't be like I said this in the other podcast, my oldest, she will literally set a timer on her iPad for a minute if you tell her you need a minute. I, that I don't know. But y'all, it's okay. It's all right. We all right. They all right. Everything's gonna be all right. Okay? Take your time. Drink your water. Eat your food. Take a bite. Take it with you. It's fine. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel bothered. And if anybody got something to say about it, you tell them Natasha said shush. Natasha said shush. Okay? I'm doing what I gotta do. It's all right. Now, we didn't went. I don't even know if you call this full circle. I think I think we might have touched a few more shapes here and there, but that's okay. We eventually got back to it. Okay, so y'all go in peace, go relax, knowing you don't gotta get up and be supercalifragilisticexpialidocious every day. Sometimes you can just be you, and you're all right. I applaud you. Okay, I applaud you. The heavens applaud you. You are all right. Don't worry about anything else. Do what you can do in that moment, and then go drink some water. Go get a candy bar. It's you fine, and I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of y'all, and we're gonna be proud of each other because there's gonna be some more things we're gonna talk about in this nitty gritty. So y'all tune in tomorrow, definitely around the same time. I usually Eastern Standard Time is usually around 11:30. But hey, it just we started a little bit at midnight. Probably around 12:45 ish. But that ain't the point, y'all. Point is, every evening I'm on it. We're on nitty gritty. We're talking. We gonna be here, and I am so excited about it. So y'all have a super super